I have written and sent a gazillion emails over the last 25 years. Let me change that. I have written and sent a bazillion emails over the last 25 years. I started sending caveman emails back in the olden days when I was I bought my first junior hockey team. And I remember the players at that time, they're aged 17 to 21. They were using email all the time. So I got into email, and then I started using it with season ticket holders and corporate people. And I built an email list with my first hockey franchise. After 3 years, we had several thousand people on our Junior A email list. It was parents, fans, season ticket holders, corporate sponsors. This is when email was just getting to be the thing. And then from there, when I went into the insurance business, I went all hog nasty. I was cutting edge at the time, much younger guy, and I became the email guy. I started capturing emails. Every phone call, every single time a person walked into the office, my staff would grab their email, and I ended up on television and radio advertising and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of flyers. And we built up our email list at McLean Insurance to 62,000 people. These were buyers, by the way. They weren't bargain hunters or time wasters. So 62,000 lists there. And then when I went in the barbershop business a few years ago, every single person that came to our website, or every single person that came in the shop over the 6 years, we grabbed their email. And it's crazy what violent consistency can do. Like literally by just chipping away and asking everybody for their email in a little barbershop, we ended up with over 10,000 people on our barbershop email list. Can you imagine? So if the barbershop was not busy, we had the ability to send a quick email out to 11,000 people. When it was Father's Day and we had specials for hot towel shaves and all this stuff, we just send out an email to 11,000 buyers. When it was Christmas and you don't know what to buy your dad or your uncle or your brother or your son, we'd send out an email to 11,000 people. We would literally sell, hundreds and hundreds of gift cards by just sending out these emails. We had special promotion nights. We had VIP levels, gold levels. We had membership built in to the whole thing. So all done by a simple caveman email list. So I've been doing the email for, oh my God, it seems like forever, but at least 2.5 decades. And then of course I was in the insurance marketing business. I built a semi-massive list when I was marketing to insurance agents. I was speaking all over I did speeches in Australia and United States and Canada, all building my email list. And then what Mark Andre, my business partner, and I have been up to the last couple of years is building this company over the last 4 years, all the foundation being our email list, which you're on. If you're not, download my book, my free brand new book at brassballsvideos.com below. You can download the book for free. The link is below. The book is free. You'll also be added to my daily email list. So hundreds and hundreds of thousands of emails captured. But one of the things that I'm really proud about is I heard the other day that I'm closing in on 20,000 subscribes. So I was very happy to hear that our landing page, we set a record with our landing page. I shot a video on this for you. We have a unicorn landing page for the new book at brassballsvideos.com. that's converting at 78.3%, which, I mean, I've never had anything even over 30. So that's a massive Super Bowl win for me. I've never had a home run like that. And I share that with you. It just, when you go, that's the page that's converting at 78%, brassballsvideos.com. I don't know why it's working so well. I've never had other pages that worked that well. Why this one's working better, I have my suspicions, but candidly, I don't really have any clue why. So you can study that site, and you can download the book if you wish, brassballsvideos.com. The other good news is that I'm close to 20,000 unsubscribes. Can you imagine? So I've had 19,000 people, something like 19,033 people in the last 25 years unsubscribe from all my different emails. And I added them up all the other day, and I was like, man, I said, I'm coming up on 20,000 unsubscribes. And my wife, Chris, is like, you're the curation champion. Nobody repels people better than you. And I do have to agree with my beautiful queen. And I said to my daughter, I said, how big is your email list? And she says, I have 23 people on my dog walking email list. And she says, now I have 83 people on my podcast list. She's been doing a podcast for the last couple months. She has 83 people on her email list for a podcast. And now she has 20 or whatever she said for the dog walking. So she's pretty proud, and she's doing very well. Even she has an email list. But then I said, are you kidding me? I said, sweetheart, Daddy has had 20,000 people quit on him. I've had 19,033 people say, I can't take it anymore, and unsubscribe. And I said, my goal is always 1 to 2% unsubscribes with every daily email. I said, if I'm doing my job right, I'm filtering and curating and swift sorting my list by 1 to 2% a day, which is a lot. Ask Marc Andre. But the really good news is I never thought I'd ever get to 20,000 people. And this is good news because, think about who I'm repelling. Think about who I'm curating off my list. I mean, especially in 2024, the cupcakes, the snowflakes, the cheapskates, the bargain hunters, the low testosterone, low IQ, iPhone junkies. And I mean, I don't want the victims, the excuse makers, the complainers. I put the run on those guys almost immediately. How the hell they haunt my list, I have no idea. Where a whiner or a complainer or a victim or a poodle ends up on my list, I have no idea. Maybe they think that they're a king or a champion. I'm not really sure. Maybe they're not self-aware, but how those guys end up haunting my list, I have no idea. But thankfully, 20,000, not yet, but coming up on 20,000, I'll work on it. 20,000 people, 19,000 have unsubscribed from Yours Unruly's list. And that's something I need to celebrate. I mean, I got to take myself out to Five Guys. I got to have an extra coffee. I've got to do something to celebrate when I make that 20,000 unsubscribes. I mean, that's bigger than most people's lists. But, it's also shows you. I remember Dan Kennedy always telling me with marketing, he said, Michael, he goes, make sure people are either hot or cold. When it comes to your marketing, he says they got to be hot or cold. He said lukewarm or indifferent is the enemy. And I've never forgot that, hot or cold. So every email I write, hot or cold. I want people who are hell yeah or hell no. Every video, hot or cold. Every newsletter, yes or no, hot or cold. You want to make sure that you're earning trust, you're earning attention, but you want to stand for something. You want to share your principles, share your values, share your mission, and make sure that that repels all the people you don't want in your movement, all the people you don't want on your list. And that's what I've been able to do by talking about hard work, talking about accountability, talking about personal responsibility. I talk about the importance of our police officers, our farmers, our firefighters. I talk about the importance of entrepreneurs. I attack politicians and bureaucrats and posers and actors and on and on. And you know, when you talk about taking 100% personal accountability for your life, I mean, you're going to repel a lot of the victims. You know, most people now, 99% of the normies now are victims, right? They're not victors. 99% of the population are whiners, not winners. And 99% of the population now are pretenders, not champions. So I take a lot of pride in this number. I've always done it by sharing my principles, sticking up for my values, being ruled by my mission, and God willing, I hope I'm able to repel and cut the rope with another 20,000 over the next 20 or 30 years. And I just wanted to share that with you. You guys that have the thin skin and you've got the spotlight effect, you're always worried about what somebody else is thinking, and they're not thinking anything about you. Get that through your fucking head. They're not thinking anything about you. They don't care. They care about themselves. People are consumed by themselves. If they're thinking about you for 10 seconds, 10 seconds later, they're not thinking about you. They're thinking about somebody else. So I've always looked at unsubscribes as the sign of really good emails. I'll say to Marc-Andre from time to time, I'm like, but how many unsubscribes did we get to that LeBron James email? They'll be like, oh, coach, we set a new record. I'll be like, how many unsubscribes did we get to that Donald Trump email? Oh, we had a solid 200 to 300. Or how many unsubscribes did we get to that, you know, that whatever it was, marketing candy ass video? He's like, oh, we got a solid 75. So you can see where I'm going. Like, I celebrate filtering and repelling. And, you know, the great Jim Camp, if you know anything about marketing history, Jim Camp, the late great Jim Camp, was the FBI's most feared negotiator. This is the guy that, you know, they wish they had today to negotiate with the Taliban. But, I mean, he was the guy they used to send over, the world's most feared negotiator. And I've studied Camp for years. And one of the things Jim Camp always taught in negotiation and sales, and remember, he was negotiating with some of the most evil leaders in history, and he said, always go for the no. In your emails, go for the no. Sales page, go for the no. Video, go for the no. One-on-one sales in your office, go for the no. Hiring somebody, go for the no. Everything was go for the no. Repel, sell by repelling, sell by repelling, sell by repelling, and then you end up with the cream of the crop. You end up with the best of the best. And I've always done that, hiring people, recruiting hockey players, postcards, newsletters. Go for the no, go for the no. And repel, repel, sell and repel. Repel, repel, sell by repelling, sell by repelling. And going for the no. And like my pop says, the best time to lose a lousy client or a lousy sale is at the beginning, because they're on their best behavior. It's only going to get worse from here. So make sure if you're going to lose somebody, lose them at the first, and then you can move on and curate them out of your world. So 19,033 unsubscribes before this video, before this email. And I've got to celebrate that somehow. I'll talk to Krista of a way to. Jim Camp would be so proud. He would say, Michael, great job going for the no over the last 30 years, over the last 25 years. So you can download a free copy of my book, 5 Ways to Unfuck Your Life in the Next 30 Days. It's only 22 pages. Print it off, study it, share it with whoever you want. Brass Balls videos below. Put in your email. I'll email you the book within 5 minutes. I'll email you the digital version of the book within 5 minutes. The other thing I have going on just this week to celebrate Marc-Andre LeBlanc's visit and his girlfriend's visit here to Heaven on Earth, Naples, Florida, is I'm having a pay what you want promotion for my paper and ink newsletter. So in my May newsletter, which will be coming out in a couple weeks, you can pay whatever you want. Normally it's $97, $197, depending what level you are. You can pay whatever you want. You can pay $1, $50, $100. I don't care. I'm not even gonna know. I trust you to be fair, but it's my print newsletter, my Michael McLean World Building newsletter. Go to badassletter.com. The link is below, badassletter.com, and watch the short video. And I'm gonna share this month the other 5 ways that I unfucked my life in 30 days. So in the book, you get the first 5, but I gotta tell you, the other 5, which is 10 in total, are just they're the cherry on top of the sundae. These are the next level 5 ways to unfuck your life in the next, basically getting your shit together in the next month. Doesn't take years, doesn't take months, it takes 1 month. So that's gonna be the focus of the newsletter. If you're interested, go to the link below, put in whatever you wanna pay, $1, $10, $50, $75, $100, I don't care. I'll print it off, I'll ship it to you. You'll have it in your mailbox by the end of this month. That's it for today. Like my dad says, hang in there. The best is yet to come. 2 words that changed my life, 2 words that can change yours. Be relentless.